Let me get, because I don't have this memorized. Sorry. We changed it up, how I say it, and the intro to be the right words for the social medias, and I just don't remember it. So it says, welcome to CarolJo's. It's your online jewelry and accessory shop. I am Carol, and I am the one that manages and creates everything that you see on CarolJo's.com. Um, but we're just more than just an online store, just to let you know. We do all kinds of fun things here. I do bead sales, I do jewelry sales, I will do tutorials, and I will do chat times. I go live on different social medias with those. So I'm live on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. And they will have chat times and the tutorials here on YouTube. I will do both of those also here on TikTok. TikTok is the only place I do my bead sales. And then I also do jewelry sales on Facebook and TikTok. So I go live on all the different social media. For my schedule, it changes week to week. So I do post it out on Facebook and on TikTok. So if you want to see what my schedule is, go head on over to either one of those social medias to get my schedule for the week. This week on Tuesday, which is tonight, I am going live with a tutorial about the color wheel. Tomorrow night, I will go live at 8 p.m. Central, and we're going to go live with the chat time. Friday night at 7 p.m., we will be going live with a bead sale on TikTok only. And then on Saturday at 10 a.m. on TikTok only, I will be going live with the charm sale. So we got a few things this week. I didn't schedule a jewelry sale. If I do a jewelry sale, it will be a pop-up where I just come on live when I have a moment. All right. So like I said, tonight is going to be a tutorial. Now, to help get it out there, go ahead here on YouTube, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and see if we can get more people into here, into our community, and see if they can come in. Those of you, hi Melissa, those of you that are on TikTok, if we get 10 shares, which we already got 3, and if we can get to that 10K likes up at the top, I will do bead soup giveaway. I don't think I have that resin one up here. It might be downstairs. So I may have to run go get that, because I don't think I brought it up here. No, I did not bring it up here. But we'll have bead soup for sure giveaway. All right. So if you guys can share and like the TikTok, that would be awesome. That will get us more people in here. All right. I am going to bring up my backup account on TikTok so that I can see comments better. Oh, we have all kinds of beads here. On Friday night, I will have a bead sale where I will have different kinds of beads. I do have the beads picked out. I just can't tell you right off the top of my head what I all have. I can go grab them. They're just sitting over here and show you guys after we get through the tutorial. But I want to do our tutorial. So let me get to my backup account. And as always, if you like what you see here over on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then turn on the bell so you get notified when I post new videos or go live. For TikTok, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit the follow. Hi, Sissy. Hi, Danielle. I'm bringing up my backup account so now I can finally see comments better. All right, there we go. All right, so tonight I had to, I'm not gonna fib to you guys. I had to write up my talking points. I normally don't have to do that, but with this one, I have to, because I don't want to miss out on telling you guys, hi Nicole, something about the color wheel and how to use it if you use it, because there are so many different ways that it can be used. And I just want to make sure that when you guys are trying to put colors together for your projects, this doesn't have to be just for making jewelry. Using the color wheel can be so much more than that. So you can use these tips anytime you're using color, whether it be if you're going to crochet something or if you're going to paint something and, you know, that type of thing. The color wheel can be used for that. So, as we all know, our primary colors, let me see if I can get this to move. Let me see. I got to get it the right way on the color wheel here. Oh, I can't get it to go that way. But, okay, our color wheel. Our primary colors are always red, yellow, and blue. Those are our primary colors. We all learned that in elementary school, I'm assuming. Then our secondary colors are when you combine like the blue and the, where's blue on here? All of a sudden I lost blue. Blue and yellow, when you combine those two, you end up with in the middle here with green. So blue and yellow make green. That's a secondary. Blue and red make purple. And of course, red and yellow make orange. So those are our secondary colors. Hi, Kaylee. So, you know, you got your primary and your secondary. But then you have your, and I always get this word wrong, so if I pronounce it wrong, you guys can just like go, it's the tertiary, I can't pronounce it, colors. And that is where you're going with, like, you'll hear me say when we have beads that we have a yellow green, or we might have a red orange, or you might have like a blue green. Oh, good. I am so glad you got it together. Woohoo. All right, Kaylee, I'm happy for you. And what that means is that you're mixing colors. So you're going more like, here's our orange. But when you have the orange and the red, you have like right here, this is the red orange. And you'll see that there's different amounts of colors to it, depending on which shade you're going with or which color you're going with here. But if you look at the bottom, if we did orange right here and red right here, I'm not going to do that tonight because I have to concentrate on this tutorial, okay? You will get right here this orange, or red-orange type scenario, okay? So when you do here, if we did the yellow and the orange right here, you're going to get this orange or yellow-orange. Do you understand what I'm saying? That we're going with the inside part of the wheel when we do that. And so you're going to pick, like if we did, let's say we do this blue and this green, you're going to get what we really would call like a teal, but you're going to get that green, like a blue-green. So that's where you need to think about when you're creating colors, is where at on the color wheel are you at? So those are the colors. We've got the primary, the secondary, and the colors that I can't pronounce. So then there are 4 ways to change your colors. If you notice, each block on the color wheel here has a different set of colors. You know, so like for greens, we have this one right here. You have your lightest shades and you go all the way around to your darkest shade. And there are different things that take into consideration to get us all those colors that are in this block. And I'm going to go through all 4 of those with you so that you will understand them. You have the hue, which is the position of the color on the color wheel. If you're on the right and you blend in with something that's on the left, you're going to get a different color. So if I took these two and put them together in the middle, they're going to be a blend, a hue of that. If you do saturations, saturation is the intensity of your color. Hi, Crafty. So if you're going to have a very high amount saturation of the color, you're going to get a very vibrant color of it. So let's say I'm going to look here and use these 3 colors right here. This one doesn't have as much color. It isn't as vibrant, but we put a little bit more color in there and you see how it's a little bit darker, more vibrant. I don't know how else to say it than it just stands out. And if you go and give it a little bit more of that color saturation and put more color in it, you're going to get this type of color. You're not really changing a whole lot on the color per se from each way you're working up, but you're getting more color in there and that gives you more saturation. So that's another word that we want to use when we're creating colors. Then you also have what they call value. Value is how light or dark the color is. So if you have more of a black in it and you're putting more black in your color, you're shading your color. Because you know, we've always talked about when you add black, it gets it darker. When I have done my paint pours, you will notice that I will put in white. So I go with the darker color and then I add in a little bit of white, and then my other color, I add in a lot of white. That is actually called tinting, because using white is you're tinting the color. But I have done in the past where I will take the middle color and I will add black, and I will take the middle color on the next over here and I will add white. So I have the regular color, I have tinted, and I have shaded. Shading is adding black, tinting is adding white. Okay. And then if you added gray into that mixture, that's actually called toning. So you can add white, gray, or black to one color, and it will change that color based upon what you mixed in with it. So you'll have white is tinting, gray is toning, black is shading. Hey, Mythical, thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate that. So I know with beads, you really don't mix in those colors, but when you look at the colors on the color wheel, you will see this has white in it, and this has black in it when we are looking at the color wheel here. Because it starts with the base color of this purple here, or this purple, blue purple, in the example that I'm doing. But if I added in white, I will go this way around. And if I add black, I go this way around. And it will shade it or tint it. All right? So that's where you're going to see this. I ended up getting this one off of the Zon, and it is called Rainbow Color Selector. That's what this one is. You can go there and they have all different kinds of color wheels. This one was the one that just eye-catchingly stuck out to me. So that is the value. Now temperature. We all know temperature and colors. You have, I got to turn the color wheel the right way. Got to think about this, where it's half's at. I think it's right here. Yep, right here. This half of the color wheel is cool. This half is warm. So once again, this half cool, this half warm. It's the warmth or the coolness of the color. They will have different colors. Or it might be, I always forget where it splits at. It might be yellow, but you get what I'm saying. There is a side that will split that says warm or cool. I don't get into, hi Mia, knowing the warmth or the coolness, but what I want to tell you is you can take a warm color and make it cooler by stepping one color over to the cool side of that color, and that will cool down a warm color. Same thing for your cool colors. If you step one way this way from the color, you are now warming up a cool color. And those are the types of things that I want you to think about when you're picking beads. So let's say I picked this shade of yellow. If I go right over here with this green, they will work together, but it's cooling down my yellow when I mix it in with that green. So if you're trying to create something summery, you want to go, to me, summer is cooler. I know at temperature it can be hot at times, but when I think summer, the water, going to the lake or the ocean or the river, the cooler colors. And that's why you can put a cool like blue with the yellow, and it cools that yellow down. Oh, thank you, Mia, for the heart, me. I appreciate that. So that is how you cool down colors or warm up colors when it's on the opposite side of the color wheel. If you have a cool color, go to the warmer tone side. If you want to cool it down, go to the cooler side. Does that make sense to everybody? I've spewed a lot at you all in the few minutes that we talked about, but just how adding black, gray, or white changes the color. how doing, hey Margaret, how are you tonight? How moving over one color can make it a cooler color. So that is what I wanted to talk about, how you change a color on the color wheel. If you notice, each one of these sections has all of what we just talked about in there. So then they have what they call color harmonies. I'm going to switch color wheels for a second because you're going to laugh. I have from, oh, I can't think of it. It's crystallized. It's the Swarovski crystallized, like, hi, it's just me. Thank you, Amia. You have, this is my color wheel. I'll show you both. There are different, what they call color harmonies here on this color wheel. So I'm going to talk about this up here in this style of a color wheel tells you your main color. Hold on. Sorry. The father unit was trying to call me. Oh, this will work then for that. So when you think about your main color, you have this. On your color wheel, this one does show you what your main color is. You can just put this main color and put either, you know, some silver or gold with it and be done. Very simple, simple picky. Or you can turn over here to this purple and use that one. This one does not go in any order of like the color wheel because we don't normally go like pink, blue, as dramatic as this color wheel. So this color wheel just is a way to show you some of the color harmonies or simple bead a simple bead combination. And that's why I'm using that one. This one right here, this one is the your main color is up here. And then this would be like your monochromatic type colors. Let me get that in there centered right. That will go with it. So it will show you on this color wheel which ones to go with. So when you think of monochromatic, you take one color and then you have the different shades or the different values, I should say. So you have the shading, the tinting, and the toning. And that's how you get these colors down here. All right. So if you're on this color wheel, I'll show you on this one, your tinting and shading and toning is all done in here. This is our main color right here at the bottom. And then you go up this way with the black, and that adding black deepens the color. Whereas if we're here and we go this way, we are lightening the color or we're tinting it. So that's the way to think about monochromatic, is just having one single area of the color wheel and picking colors that will work for your project. So that is what we call monochromatic. Now, complementary. I am going to do complementary here on the color wheel. And this color wheel has lots of like arrows and such. I am not going to look at the center part arrow with this one, okay? So what I want to do is a complementary color. Let's say we're in red. We're right here with red in the center. Go straight across, and our red goes to, wait here. This is straight across. Sorry, I'm doing this trying to look at it. These are straight across from each other. This red and this green. They are complementary colors. Hi, Joya, because they are opposites of each other on the color wheel. So this red and this green, which of all things makes Christmas colors, but they're the complementary and they go together. So then you can just pick out two colors, and you can even do this. You don't have to do it with the bottom color here to get your complementary. I got to go right here. Here's my red. Holy buckets. I keep moving it. Here's my red. If I wanted complementaries of the dark color, go to the top here and then go to the dark color straight across. This red and this green are complementary to each other. So you don't have to stick with the very primary of that color. You can go with anything in this quadrant area, but if you want to complement it, go to the exact same spot across the color wheel. And what I used to get hung up on a lot is that I wouldn't go exactly across. I would just naturally assume if I wanted my complementary color, I would pick this red with this green. And they don't always go together the greatest. It doesn't mean we can't do it. It just means it might not look as appealing. So you want to stick with where it's at on the color wheel. And when you're complementary, go to the exact same spot when you have all the colors there. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope it does. All right, now we're going to get into something that is just a step up from the complementary, and it is called split complementary. This one, I'm going to pick a different color. We're going to pick this purple here. I got it on Amazon, and it is called Rainbow Color Selector. It's in a package like this, just a circle package, and then it has pamphlets in it to help explain the color wheel. So we're going to pick this purple. If we want a split complementary, what we do is we go exactly across, which is this yellow at the bottom. Split complementary means we go one part to the wheel this way, so it's this green, and we go one over from the yellow to this yellow orange. So we would use this purple right here, along with this orange yellow here, along with the yellow green here. You're splitting the complementary color to the two on the opposite side. You know, or not the opposite. Of the one that's opposite, you go to the ones to the left and to the right of it. And once again, you can pick. Oh, I didn't even notice this until just now. I'm going to bring this color wheel up close. Each color has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in there. There's little numbers. I'm going to show you over here on TikTok. Or YouTube, I mean. So if you picked 5, you're going to want to go to the 5 that is in this one, and you're going to want to go to the 5 that, this one and this one. Does that make sense? I didn't even realize that on my color wheel. I've always just gone, okay, where is it around? Follow the number on this type of color wheel. Learned something new tonight. And do you know how many times I've looked at it and I didn't even notice the numbers? So, but that's how you do the split complementary. Go to your color that you're selecting. Go to the down straight, and then go to the left and to the right with the same number or the same spot on this section of the color wheel. So that's split complementary colors. Triadic is where you're going to create. All right. Triadic is where you're going to create a triangle. And you're going to have the same number of spots in between each of the colors. And I have not. There is one on here that does the triadic, and I got to think about which one it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 of these on here. So if we're going to pick 3, that means we're going to have 1 and 3 in between. So then this one would be it. And then 3 in between. So then the 4th one. So you have 3 in between. Does that make sense? Because you have to look at whatever color wheel you're looking at and see how many sections you are and divide that by 3. And so the first one will be 1, and then whatever the number that you came up with, you would go 2, 3, 4. And then the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was 1. So you're going to split it up into thirds and grab the color, whatever number you're going to do in your little quadrant or segment. Oh no, not trying to confuse you. So let's say I'm going here and I pick in this orange red, or orange yellow, I mean. Let's go number 3. So we want this one. There you go. What I want to do is, this is number 1, and I have 3 in between. 1, 2, 3. And then number, I got to remember my number. Number 4? 3. Number 3 on this one. I want to choose a bead that is this color. So we're going to choose, I'm going to put my fingers on it. I want this orange and this purple. Now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Our number 3. It's right here. I'm trying to do this. So the places where I've actually got my fingers down, that green, this purple, this one right there, and that orange would all be what we want to put together. You can purchase this one on Amazon, Andy. I do not purchase them, or I don't have them for sale. I just got it off of Amazon. You can use any color wheel that you want. So that's how you get the split complementary, or the triadic, or the triangle of the color wheel. Now you're going to do, I cannot pronounce the word again. It's that T word, but this is 4 of them. And instead of doing 3 in between, you're going to just do 2. So like if I wanted this one, I'd 1, 2, I'd do this one, 1, 2, this one, 1, 2, here, what is it? This one, this one, this one, and this one. There we go. Where I have my fingers down, there, that one. Gotta get that finger out of the way. This is hard. Those are the 4 that would go together. So you can pick 4 colors when you want more than just one. It gets harder when you do multiple colors. And then there's where you pick 2 colors next to each other. So you could pick these 2 to go together. Or you could pick like these 2 to go together. Just pick 2 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, either in the same block or in the same number next to each other. That's another option for a color combination. Okay, so that's just using 2 hues of a very similar color. So that's how you pick colors on the color wheel. Now, one thing, especially when you're getting 4 colors, if you have all the same 4 colors, all the same size, the same bead, like let's say you're doing a 10 millimeter of all 4 of those colors, it is really hard on your eye to pick which one should I be focusing on. So what you normally would do in that case is pick one primary color, or dominant color, I want to say dominant, and your other 3 are your accent colors to go with it. And however you do your pattern is up to you. But usually what you want to do is pick which one is your dominant color. So even though we've shown you, we did this color wheel where we said, here's our primary or dominant color, and that was it. When you're getting over here, this is when they say contrasting colors. This is your dominant color, and here's your 2 contrasts. Here, we have the monochromatic. He's not very good in there, sorry. This is your dominant color, and here are your contrast of it, or your accent colors. And do you see where it's bigger, and the bigger the dominant, and then the smaller? And so what I do when I pick out beads for that, what I do is I pick out a larger bead. Thank you, Margaret, because I'm having a hard time, even when I try to pronounce it in my head, and I have a hard time sometimes getting words out. Tertiary. I have a word that we use at work. I cannot get it out. And people laugh, and I'm like, there's just some words that I concentrate too hard, and they just don't come out. But I thank you for helping me, because I suck at some words. And I know when I see them, and then I'm on a live going, holy bucket. Airy, okay. Tertiary. But, so I sit here and I like try and try and try. So sage green. Let's get into sage green. All right. So right here is sage green. We go to the opposite side, number 2, because that's what number is in this one. And that is our complementary color to sage green. It's like I don't know what color to call that. Mauve color, maybe? But do you see, here's sage green, and here is the complementary color. So I'm going to show you over here. Here's the sage green. Across the wheel, the same number, it's this one. Thank you, Margaret. Thanks for helping me. So that's what, to think about how to pair them together. I know. It was funny because, okay, so over here on TikTok, people are talking about Zuli's challenge. I have not watched Zuli's video for the challenge. I just know I was mentioned in one of the comments, and I'm like, I'm just going to teach the color wheel tonight. And it just works out with hers. Ah, there you go. And so the thing is that when you've got the multiple colors that you're going to pick one dominant and then do the others as like accent or secondary colors to your dominant. So the other thing that I know, because I did see part of Zuli's video, and one of the things that I do, there's two things I'm going to tell you tonight when I do my selecting. So the first thing is, if I get stuck choosing colors, I go and Google color palettes. And that's where you're going to see like this type of thing together. And then they will usually give you some sort of a picture, other flowers or like a room decor, that type of thing, where how you can use all the colors together, if that makes sense. And sometimes I'd have to do that to get inspiration. Does it mean I'm cheating? Nope. It means I'm getting inspiration. This one I actually got for free from Michael's. I don't know if you guys can get this. This one was actually given, like if you bought enough of the crystallized Swarovski element beads at Michael's, you got this color wheel for free. And all the numbers for the different beads are on the back here. You know how they each have a number? So that's how I got this one. But this is the one that you guys can get more of. I was doing this one so that you guys could see at a less confusing level how to get to the different types of harmonies, the color harmonies. Okay? But, so number one, if you need inspiration, yep, you can. Go to the color wheel. Go to color palettes, Google them. You'll see lots of pictures. Yeah. And that one, I don't know. I never looked on Amazon to do that. Yep. And so, the other thing that you guys have noticed with me, when we are doing tutorials and I ask you guys for a color, we'll put the colors together and sometimes they will really work. Sometimes they don't. But the thing is that just like what Margaret said in the chat here, sometimes I will take the colors that you give me and I don't always go exact opposites or with the colors that you gave me. I might go with a different shade of it or a different tint of it. And she said the intensity, which is really truly the tint and the shade, the value, and go with that to find it so that they don't clash. And you'll notice when I'm doing it, I'll have a bead next to me and I'll set them next to each other. And that is how I look at them to put them together. And I don't know if you always see that when I'm doing it, but I literally will grab a tray and I will be like, okay, I know the shade that I want, because it's not that I have the color wheel memorized. It's just after so many years of doing it, it's gotten a little bit easier. And I'm like, okay, if I am here with this yellow, right, well, that's where my finger should be, this yellow, and I want a green, I know I'm going to want a green probably in this shade, maybe that one. Yep, I will go with, and you guys will tell me, one of the color combinations that I remember from the last time was red and yellow. Red and yellow, I tend to stick with like the exact ones next to, like across from each other. So like I'll go with this red and this yellow. I won't go with like this yellow and this red, but I will set them next to each other when I'm laying them out on here. And that's where, you know, I usually do, with especially with red and yellow, stick with the same one because they just tend to blend better. But if you're going the exact opposite, then I try to go one way or another in this little segment. And that's what I'm doing when I am putting them together. Also, if you guys notice, I do not spend, if I spend 5 minutes looking for colors, I have a question for you. Those of you here on TikTok, because that's where I've done most of my tutorials. Do I spend 5 minutes putting bead colors together? I'm just going to ask and you guys can give me your opinion. Do I spend 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes trying to figure out bead colors? Nope, I don't. And the reason being is that as a part of my business, spending that much time picking out a color means that I am losing time to build my jewelry. And I love how I just said build my jewelry. That's something my husband would say to me. Yep, time is money. I am in there making a quick decision. If it doesn't turn out perfect, it's okay. Yep. And just like Nicole is saying there, it took her an hour for 4 different set combinations without the wheel. And now it helps her out. So if getting that color wheel and spending, I don't even know if I spent $10 on this, will save you time, which equals money. So do that. But I have had enough, I've been doing jewelry that I don't always need the color wheel. Sometimes I do. You guys don't see me off camera, but sometimes I do. But I just make those instant decisions. Don't overthink it is really what I'm trying to tell you. Don't overthink it. Okay. Now, another thing, and I said I wanted to talk about this tonight when we were talking about doing the color wheel. I'm going to move the color wheel aside. And let's think about this from a bead perspective. If you notice, I don't always select the same size bead, but I have to be careful on the size of beads that I'm selecting. Yep. Okay, I have to say to Joya's comment there, green is my favorite color, and green is the one that I have the most colors of because I gravitate towards it. There is someone else that I know that buys beads, and I think green's her favorite color too. I don't think she's ever said it, and I'm not going to say who it is, but she buys just about every green bead I have. So, so when you have your favorite colors, like Joy, yours is like the corals or the sea colors, you're going to buy those. Yep. Yep. And so what I was going to say about the size of your beads is that I mix up my bead sizes, but I have to, if you guys notice, one of my favorite thing, or it's not a favorite, one of the things I do the most is that I don't always check my thickness or width of the bead. And so I might have, when they're laying beside each other, 2 10mm size beads, but one might be a flat coin and one will be a round. And they just do not look appealing next to each other. Oh, that is so cool, Mythical. See, but you can get the purples in different shades of purples to go with your green if you have it. And then what I was going to say, Andy, is, you know, if you pick the right purple and green, but then you come across and you can do more orangey tints to get in there, or you can do the pinkish colors along with like, you know, to get the quad. So that's how to do that. Somebody was filtered. Oh no. So that's the thing to think about is your bead sizes, and I call it the thickness, but it's the width of your bead. So like if it is a 10mm round, holy buckets, I just froze over here on, I don't know why I froze. Well, I froze over on YouTube. And I don't know how to get it unfroze. Well, hold on. I might just have to end it.